It's exactly 36 minutes past the hour 7 a.m. and welcome to this particular segment as we head straight to the press review, seeing what's making headlines into the print media. And I have quite a lot, not a lot, two of the types here. I have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. But as always, let me first review the New Vision and see what's really making a business headlines right there. And of course, I see on the top headline here, seeing heavy fines for alcohol sales before midday. So that is something for you to really consider if you are somebody in that particular kind of line. That there will be heavy fines. That's for delivery of alcohol for sale. Yes, heavy fines for alcohol sales before midday. So I mean, you should be thinking of transacting in alcohol after midday. All right, we shall get back to that report. But let's first review something a little small here. China promises more education cooperation as Makerere University, that's Vice Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, has hailed the Chinese community in Uganda for renovating some of the key buildings that's at the institution. That is something quite very remarkable. Okay, you see President Museveni blasts the European Union that's over fossil fuel. President Yoweri Museveni has said Africa's progress will not be hampered by Europe's failure to meet its own climate change. And of course, dabbing it hypocrisy, Museveni said for some years Uganda has been. It actually says for some years we have been told fossil fuel investment in Africa for Africans. Fossil fuel investment in Africa for Africans is unacceptable. Yeah, that's what has been told. And of course, he came out to say that and blasting the European Union regarding that. And still back here, we see that innovations must meet quality. That's according to the Prime Minister of Uganda. That's Robin Anabanja saying that. The government tasked local innovators with emphasizing quality in their innovations to enable Ugandan-made products compete favorably on the global market. Remember, one of the advantages that Uganda has over the international community, that it stands a very high chance to really outstand right there in the world of technology. So therefore, it matters what kind of technology represents us as Uganda, and it comes back to quality. Emphasizing the quality of this technology will be a very key aspect in that area. So quality must be fulfilled. That's why, according to Nabanja, advising the innovators right there. That's the Prime Minister of Uganda. All right, now back to the main headline, which say that 20 million shillings fine for selling alcohol. That's before midday. And of course, according to a report here, it says that for anyone to sell alcohol, they must have a license. This is contained in Clause 6 of the Alcohol Control Bill, that's 2022. The sub-counties, town councils, city division, and municipalities will issue the annual license that's for sale. And of course, the bill proposes that particular aspect. The enacted into law, the bill in its current form prohibits the manufacture, sale, or import of alcoholic drinks without a license issued by the licensing institute regarding that. And of course, the licensing authority proposed this new law. All right, so that is something for you to really consider. And if you are somebody that deals in that kind of line of business, that before midday you will be fined if you sell alcohol before 12. That's 12 midday. 20 million shillings fine awaits for you. So something to really consider in that line. Okay, and now let's head straight to the Daily Monitor and see what's making headlines. I'm really into the time for the international news, but let's review something a little quick here in the Daily Monitor and see what's making headlines in the world of business, and we shall be getting right there. Now looking into here, you see that Speaker orders inquest into medical interns pay claims. The Speaker of Parliament, Ms. Anita Among, yesterday instituted a committee to establish whether striking that's medical interns have been paid. Of course, their claim has been paid. That's by the Health Ministry. And the committee members include, of course, a list of here have been included regarding that, and discussing the payment of the intern medical workers. All right. Now we look still in the daily monitor here as the IGG, though, or what we call the Inspector General of Government, orders government officials to refund over 500 million Ugandan shillings. The Inspectorate the Inspectorate of Government has implicated, that's the top officials, that's of the Uganda Land Commission, of course, in a corruption scandal amounting to 511 million shillings, and ordered them to refund that money. That's with immediate effect. That's in an October 12th October statement. The IGG notes that the money was misappropriated. That's during the 2018 and 2019 financial year. So that is something that they should really look into to refund back that money. And also we see that members of parliament, greatly UNRA, that's the Uganda National Rights Authority, officials over 4.6 billion Ugandan shillings. Members of parliament on the committee on commission statutory authorities and state enterprises, what we know as COSASE, yesterday asked the government National Roads Authority, the Uganda National Roads Authority leadership to account for 4.5 billion said to have been diverted into other activities. While scrutinizing the Auditor General's report, that's for the financial year 2020-2021, the members of parliament observed that the 98.7 billion Ugandan shillings was originally budgeted to cater for employment expenses. However, 93.7 billion was utilized. So little was utilized as compared to what was allocated. So the members of parliament are calling upon the officials of the UNRA, or what we know as the Uganda National Roads Authority, to account for that money that was diverted. It's exactly 43 minutes past the hour of 7 a.m. and at this particular time, let's head straight to the international news and see what's making headlines right there. Looking at international news, we'll start with the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency market rocked by near collapse of an exchange. And now we are looking at one of the exchanges of the cryptocurrencies, of course, into a crisis. On Tuesday, FTX struck a bailout deal with larger that's rival Binance Surge, that's in withdrawals caused by significant liquidity. That's a liquidity crunch. Of course, concerns that's about FTX's financial health reportedly triggered $6 billion of withdrawals in just 3 days. So FTX is a crypto exchange company right there. Binance says it agreed to buy FTX's non-US unit pending, of course, due diligence. Yes, regarding that. And FTX's founder, that is Sam Bankman-Fried, and Binance, that's chief executive Champagne, of course, are two of the most powerful people in the cryptocurrency market and high rivals, profile rivals, definitely. The pressure of FTX came in part of Mr. Zhao, who tweeted that's on Sunday, of course, that Binance would sell its holdings to FTX's digital token known as FTT. We are talking here in terms of cryptocurrency, probably just in case to let you know regarding that. And FTX is one of the companies that were exchanging that's the crypto. But now there are pressures since it came out on a bailout, and Binance, one of the leading crypto exchange best lines, says is coming out to put into consideration into some of these bailout claims regarding that. And of course, due to recent revelations that have come to light, that's according to the members of FTX, we're talking about the top officials here, they're saying that they have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on their books. And of course, they have lost almost 80% of its value that's this particular week. On Tuesday, Mr. Zhao tweeted and said that FTX asked for their help and that there is a significant liquidity crunch right there. Binance said it had signed a letter of intent to buy the firm, but had the discretion to pull out from the deal at any time. So Binance promising to buy FTX, and of course to control the to boost or to make their liquidation claim, but probably something might come up, and of course the decision might be disrupted. And also on Twitter, Mr. Bachman Fried said that their teams are working on clearing out that's the withdrawal backlog as is. And of course, this will clear out the liquidity and assets will have to be covered. And of course, that's according to the statement right there. Okay, now away from that, now let's head to Greece as we see riots, a nationwide strike over inflation disrupts transport across Greece. Greece is not the first European country we are seeing such instances happening, and I remember earlier this week there were protests in the capital of France, in Europe, protests regarding inflation. I think it was Britain. Of course, the workers talking about the high standards of living, yet the wages are not increasing. And now we see the same case here in Greece. And this time around, we are looking at transport disrupts across Greece. Greek workers have begun a 24-hour nationwide strike that's demanding for higher wages to match the surging inflation, and of course disrupting ground transport, flights and ferry services. High energy prices and soaring living costs have triggered strikes and protests across Europe, that's this month, including in Germany, France and Spain. The nationwide walkout in Greece, and the nationwide walkout that's in Greece, of course the second this year, called by private and the public sector unions, that's representing more than 2.5 million workers, was expected to culminate in Wednesday evening. We are talking about a date of yesterday. And of course, ferries were docked at ports, and work stoppages by bus, train and metro staff were expected to cause travel chaos in the capital. Some flights were grounded on air traffic controllers, of course, plan to join the walkout. That's from 8, we're talking about 8 to 14 GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, in other words, regarding that. While the Greek economy is growing at nearly twice the Eurozone rate this year, thanks to a rebound on tourism and inflation, and of course is near a 30-year peak at 12%. That's among the highest in the 19 countries sharing the euro. Workers are battling against the inflation suffocating Greek households, and of course the jungle-like conditions in the labor market, that's against the burdens they have been carrying on their backs for quite a very long time. The GSEE said it was imperative, we are talking about the General Confederation of Greek Workers, the GSEE, that's General Confederation of Greek Workers, said it was imperative for the government to take measures to tackle inflation, as the high cost of energy and basic goods were eating into people's disposable incomes. Together with the public sector, Civil Servants Confederation, and it is demanding an increase in the minimum wage, which currently stands at about 730 euros. We are talking about 730 euros or 717 pounds, that's per month, and the restoration of collective labor law. The Conservative government has spent more than 9 billion euros since September 2021, that's on power subsidies and other measures to alleviate the burden of rising energy and fuel, that's costs for farmers and of course households and business. So that's what is really transparent right there. We've seen quite a number of countries in Europe protesting over the rising cost of living, over the rising inflation, and of course it's not matching up with the wages that they earn. Alright, now we come to the end of the international news report as we look at Zimbabwe, and we see that miners attribute costs and of course power shortages of course to dampen 2023 growth prospects. Zimbabwe's miners are facing rising costs and persistent electricity shortages, which will impact the sector's growth prospects next year, and an industry body said that was on Wednesday. The southern African country has pinned hopes on the mining sector. That's to drive its economy recovery after years of total decline, blamed on the government's forced seizure of white-owned farms. That's in 2000, and excessive spending which fueled hyperinflation. All right, an industry report that's published by the Zimbabwe's Chamber of Mines, which represents the country's major mining firms, and of course says the sector will experience as low as 7% growth next year from a projected 8% this year. Prospects for mineral output growth for 2023 are generally lower than those recorded in 2022. And of course, key risks to the outlook for 2023 include fragile power supply, high costs, foreign currency shortages, and unstable tax framework and capital shortages. That's according to what the report says in this regard. Mining costs are projected to increase by 15%. That's in 2023, with energy being the main driver. The report said Zimbabwe's miners often suffer power outages due to the frequent breakdowns of the country's old generational plants. Okay, Zimbabwe state-owned power utility gets electricity from neighboring countries. That's to plug in the deficit and now builds miners in foreign currency to fund the power imports, a move which mining companies say has driven operating costs a bit higher. Zimbabwe has significant reserves on the platform. That's group metals, gold, chrome, coal, diamonds, lithium, and its mining sector contributes 11% of the country's gross domestic product and over 60% of its export earnings. Foreign companies with operations in Zimbabwe include Anglo-American Platinum, and of course we see AMSJ, that's Impala Platinum, looking at Sibanye Stillwater, and quite so many names here, looking at the companies that are responsible for exploiting that Zimbabwe's oil. All right, it's exactly 53 minutes, and this particular time, let's get straight to the business tips and quotes to start your day, to inspire you as you're pursuing that career, as you're pursuing that business. But firstly, let's review the business tip of the day. Okay, the business tip of the day says any discount is a special deal. If you're giving a customer or client, of course, we are looking at a discount. We see that you need to let them know, like it's a voluntary aspect that you're doing. And of course, when you send the bill, be certain to indicate the regulator. Indicate the regular prior, and then voluntarily discount you're giving, and of course them. And of course, we see that the reminder that okay, this reminds them that they are getting a special deal regarding that. Okay, when you discount your customers, of course, it's very important to let them know what is really taking place, because they feel valued in that particular aspect, and they will be definitely in position to support your business, and you will be prospering in that way. So you can see it's important to consider that. Okay, now let's wind this up with the business quote of the day. The business quote of the day says that the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Oh, this is something very, very remarkable. And so many of us, we look at people, we admire them according to the things they do on a daily basis. And we wish we were like them. Probably we wish we had the same money they are having. But one thing I really know, which is a factual fact, let me say that, it's a factual fact. It's that nobody makes it into any industry and they don't have a certain routine, or they don't have something that they do on a daily basis to perfect the work that they do. That's what we call a daily routine. It gives you the power, it gives you the fame to pursue whatever you're pursuing. regarding that aspect. So it's very important. I think there is a secret to any success. I'll say this: one of Jesus' secrets to success and why he's still famous till the day today was because he had a secret life and he had a consistent pattern. He could pray at the ninth hour on a daily basis. That was his secret, and it made him very famous regarding that. I just brought him as an example, as a success figure. But even so many other success figures that we see on a daily basis, they have a personal life that they pursue. They have that daily routine, something that is a part of you, because only then, when you have that pattern, you will be in position to be consistent in what you do. Remember, the reason why we see them prospering on a daily basis, there is a consistency. There is work being done in the background and on a daily. It's not a one-day thing. It's not a one-day job. It's a lifetime commitment till the time probably you leave the earth, till the time you die. There is that consistency in pattern. You don't just wake up and make money and you say you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep, but the money will sleep too. So keep consistent, keep active on a daily basis. Have that daily routine, have that perspective, that drive that keeps you, because when you wake up, you know that you have bigger dreams, and on a daily basis, you're targeting higher prospects, you're targeting higher levels. In that perspective, definitely you will be successful. It doesn't come by mistake. There is a daily routine. All right, we've come to the end of this segment, and at this particular time, let's get into a short commercial break. We shall be returning with the call for court. Good morning. Stick around.